What is up, guys? Joeski'sJoe'sPlayers.com, and welcome to another week of the new Standard and Kobolds and Catacombs right around the corner. But before that, there's still a couple weeks of laddering to get through, and this week we're looking at a deck called Breakfast Priest. And basically, this is a deck. So last week on Weekly Legends, I broke down a Keleseth Priest deck that sought to use early tempo to build towards the Kazakis Raza Shadow Reaper combo cards that make that deck so powerful. This week we're looking at a similar idea, except we're using early tempo to build towards Inner Fire and Divine Spirit. So let's just get right into the list. So there's one silence here. The reason there's a silence in this deck is because of the combo. So for those of you that don't know, the combo here is you play Divine Spirit, which doubles a minion's health. Then you play it again. So let's say you have a Northshire Cleric with a Power Word Shield on it, right? So this is a 1/5. You Divine Spirit it. This goes to a 1/10. You Divine Spirit again. This goes to a 1/20, and then you Inner Fire. Change a minion's attack equal to its health for 20 damage, and you kill your opponent in one shot. That works really well in the style of build. It works very nicely at killing your opponent, but taunts can be a problem, so the silence is very good for that. There's also a couple of niche situations for silence, things like Savannah Highmane and stuff like that as well, so it's a good one-of card to have. So as I explained, there's the Inner Fire Divine Spirit combo, which means you're going to be wanting things with a lot of health. Northshire Cleric, 1/3 for 1, love those stats. It also draws you cards, it heals really well, it challenges all the early plays in the game. Solid A+ card. Power Word Shield, it gives you health and a card. These are basically similar cards, and they're both very strong. Double Galaka Crawler, I don't know what else to say. The card is, without a doubt, one of the strongest cards running around these days. It eats everything on the ladder, and if you get this early on against a deck like Rogue or Hunter or Zoo, you're just going to wipe the floor with them. Radiant Elemental, 2/3 for 2, that's pretty solid stats. The fact that it makes your combo like this free, this costs 1, Shadow Visions is 1. Very, very nice part of that. Shadow Ascendant, 2 mana, 2/2 at the end of your turn, give another random minion, friendly minion, +1/+1. Very powerful card. And I talk about this in the write-up, but the ability to play something, get value out of it early on, and then force removal in a way that your opponent doesn't want to use it. Perfect. Shadow Ascendant is literally the definition of that and does it fantastically well. Shadow Visions, you're finding these two combo cards, so you're going to be using Shadow Visions to do that. Now the deck is called Breakfast Priest because of Devilsaur Egg. 3 mana, 0/3, Death Rattle, summon a 5/5 Devilsaur. What's really nice about this card is that almost nobody is going to pay attention to it. You put it down, your opponent goes, I don't want to crack that egg, so I'm just going to ignore it and see what else I can do. Well, that's really good for you because you can just buff this card up so easily. I've had so many games where I have the Devilsaur Egg, I play the Talon Priest, this becomes a 0/6, Divine Favor, Inner Fire, kill you, right? And what's cool is that even if you make this like a 6/6 or a 10/10 and your opponent has an answer, you still get a 5/5, which is really, really nice. And the idea behind this deck is to play cards that your opponent isn't going to necessarily do anything to, and then take those cards and buff them up. And this is the quintessential way you're going to make that happen. Once again, we care about health, we care about tempo. Cabal Talon Priest is both. Barnes, just a solid card. There's a lot of cards you can get use out of this on. It's really good with Meatwagon, Cobalt Scalebane, Karn, the Lich King, Devilsaur Egg, Shadow Ascendant, even Northshire Cleric in some situations. So overall, good value card in this deck. Defender of Argus, I talk about this in the write-up a lot, but basically there's a lot of damage, there's a lot of tempo today. This helps you fight back, protects your health, gives you the board. Very, very good. Meatwagon, 4 mana, 1/4, Death Rattle, summon a minion from your deck with less attack than this minion, which means summon a Devilsaur Egg. Just a good card. You can buff this if you want to. You can go big with it, but for the most part, you have a Meatwagon. Your opponent kills the Meatwagon, and then you get a Devilsaur Egg, and you can use that to do some other combos with. Just a good card to kind of fight for the board and make your opponent kind of think about what they're going to do. Also, you are a tempo deck, which means you are running double Cobalt Scalebane and double Bone Mare. This package is basically in every single deck these days. And then rounding out the tempo, we have Karn and the Lich King. Both of these are just value cards. They kind of take up the top of the curve. Karn, very good at being sticky, curves into Bone Mare. The Lich King, one of the best high tempo finishers around. So this is the list. It's a very cool deck. It's a tempo list, but also has the combo subvariant, which works really, really nicely in it. And let's talk about the mulligan, and then we can go ahead and hop over to the games. All right, guys, it's time for some mulligans. And basically the way you're mulliganing with this deck is it's very simple. You're a curve-based deck. You want to stick to that curve. Look at those 10-2 drops. You do not want combo cards early on. You will get those later. So silence. You're not going to keep this. You're not going to keep Inner Fire. You're not going to keep Divine Spirit. And basically everything else here is a must keep. So Northshire Cleric is a must keep. Powered Shield, if you have any early minions, you want to keep this. You're never going to keep it on its own, but if you have something to stick it on, you should do that. Glocka Crawler is a must keep. Radiant Elemental is a must keep. Shadow Ascendant is a must keep. Shadow Visions I actually don't like keeping because it really is only going to get you one of these three cards, Shield, Inner Fire, or Divine Spirit, and maybe a Silence, and those really aren't things you want early on. So I actually don't like keeping Shadow Visions. Devilsaur Egg and Cabal Talon Priest, if you have the coin or a good curve, you can keep those. And then Barnes, Defender of Argus, and Meat Wagon. If you can curve into any of these three cards, with or without the coin, you should keep them every single time. And then Cobalt Scalebane and up is just too much. So that's basically it. It's not super in-depth. You just want your 1-drop. Powered Shield is contingent on having an early minion. You want all of your 2-drop minions. Want the 3 drops if you can curve into them, and then you want the 4 drops if you can curve into them. And that's kind of the way the deck operates, and it's a tempo deck, so that's kind of how it works. So that's how it looks. Interesting list. Let's go to the ladder. All right, guys, we're here playing a little priest action.
Tyrande versus Malfurion.
My beloved Tyrande.
All right, so we're gonna keep these crawlers and hope my opponent is aggro druid. I think that's probably, maybe we just keep 1 crawler. Maybe 2 is a little too greedy. Especially because there's so many Jade Druids at these ranks that there's no reason to go all in with the crawler. Play a pirate. That does not tell me enough. He's probably Jade or Big Druid, so maybe I should have played the crawler, but I needed to make sure that he wasn't aggro with a weird draw. Plays like Wild Growth here, then we know. And then we can just set up the Devilsaur Egg. What's really nice about the Devilsaur Egg, or any of these cards, is that Druid just doesn't have access to Silence. Mire Keeper, it looks like, is going to be the player.
Land serves me.
So that's kind of like a Wild Growth, although worse in every single way. So we have the Devilsaur, but he can't really afford to pop the egg. Like, he could pop the egg and then like Wrath it and hope that I don't have a way to heal. But I could easily just heal in Divine Spirit. I'm not that worried about it. This card's going to sit there for probably quite a while.
The land
Oh
serves
my
me.
god, he had both. So we can just do this.
You are the Shadow's puppet.
Hopefully we get the buff. Well, actually it didn't matter because we got the buff on the 3/4. It challenges both of these. He probably has a swipe to kill off both of these, like perfectly. But if he doesn't have a swipe, like we're in pretty good shape. Topic Nourish, okay. Oh my Jesus, we're about to get ultimately infested. So I play Cobalt Scalebane here. He ultimate infests it, and then we lose. Like, I can't really. Do I take that risk? That's a good question. I think this is a better play. Because this makes it so even if he does trade both of these in and have Ultimate Infestation, we can trade and then play Cobalt Scalebane, which builds into the Lich King. Like, he ramped so quickly that it's almost impossible that he doesn't have Ultimate Infestation. Now, Fury and the Pestilent, okay. Playing some 1/5 taunt action. Okay, so he doesn't have an Ultimate Infestation. That works for me. We can heal up here. Rain Elemental's fine. We just need to get to the Lich King. We should be alright. As long as he doesn't draw Infestation before we draw the Lich King, we'll be alright. Because we can crash in here and then double trade into these, or he can use this to kill one of these. Okay. Looks like he's going to be trading here. Okay, so he went face there. He's going to kill the Cleric. Yeah, I mean, that makes the most sense. I don't really know what our opponent has in his hand. Just more 1/5s. So is Barnes better than Cobalt? I think the answer is no. Just heal up. So getting through these taunts is a little annoying. As long as our opponent doesn't draw ultimate, like if he ultimates this, we're in really, really bad shape. But as long as he doesn't draw Ultimate Infestation and we still have this threatening his entire board, I mean, it's a 15-11. Oh, that's not good. It's really bad, actually. It's bad simply because it, like, he can, like, Wrath this for 1 or Wrath this for 3 and then face tank it. Then I kill this. Then I put the Lich King. Then he trades in Ultimate Infestation. I hit him for 15 again. Like, this needs to die this turn. We do have a 15-11. 6 mana. What's he playing for 6 mana? Oh my god. Stop playing Spreading Plague. I mean, that's actually okay. Because of the Lich King. This Lich King is definitely going to eat Ultimate Infestation. And I really want this buff to go here. Yeah, that's perfect. Death Grip is not good. Although it could give us something big. So if he wants to ultimate now, he has to ultimate here with the 4/1, which really limits what his infestation can do. Primordial Drake. Well, that's actually really good news for us. That is really good news for us. So we can just trade here if we want to, which we do. We're actually going to Death Grip. Medivh, okay.
You wish to live forever?
We want to keep this up as much as possible. So yes, there is an off chance that he could kill us if he drew into double swipe, but that's actually it. Besides that, we can press with everything here. We're threatening lethal with both of these cards. If he has only 1 swipe, he has to use it on the board, which is why I buffed this, because it's 18 damage.
My thoughts are plagued.
And then if he can't kill us this turn, like, we can just heal. So it looks like he's going to Wrath for 1 here and try to draw the swipe. Or he just had the swipe. So that's fine. That just takes the pressure off of our face. We get a hard opponent for 18 here, and then we can play Medivh if we want to, or we could play Barnes. Really depends. We just need to heal up, because you can't Ultimate Infestation out of that scam.
My shield for Argon.
And now that he's already used a swipe, he can't kill us from 7 life, even with an Infestation. So our opponent got a good early push with his ramp cards, but against Druid, this is all you have to do. Just get as big as possible. They have no answers, they have no silence. they're not going to be able to pull these kind of games out. And once you get ahead of them and once you get a big minion, they're not coming back. So we're 1-0. I'll see you guys for game number 2. Alright guys, we're back. Hopefully that means that we can pull this one out, but we'll see what happens. Took down Big Druid in game 1. That always feels good.
Randa versus Thrall.
Shaman? Probably going to be Token Shaman. Which means that we need to get on the board quickly. I do like the Radiant Elemental. I also actually really like the Shadow Visions. I don't want the Inner Fire. But I do like going... Ooh, Silence is actually pretty good in this matchup. So I like being able to go Radiant Elemental into Coin Shadow Visions into Power Word Shield or something. We do have to watch out for Devolve, which is always going to be a threat. Always, always, always going to be a threat. Okay, so our opponent not doing anything here. Makes me just want to do this. I still think we want to try to hit a Power Word Shield if possible. Cool. So yeah, watching out for Devolve here. This is a good way to kind of like bait out Devolve, see what our opponent's up to. We can play this, like Talon Priest over the egg is better. We don't want the egg to get devolved. Okay, so it looks like our opponent is playing a control deck. Not necessarily true, but
You wish to live.
definitely something worth thinking about. Our opponent, I mean, token decks run this card too. I imagine he's also running the Jade package, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a Jade Lightning here on the 3/4. Then we can play the Meat Wagon. That gives him a pretty good devolve, but it's better than getting this devolved, which is all we really care about. Especially if he's running, there's the Jade Lightning. Knew that was coming, not a big deal at all. Just play the Meat Wagon here and kill the Stonehill. Yeah. Speaking of cards we don't want to get devolved, we have Karn Bloodhoof.
That's incredible.
We don't mind having Cobalt Scalebane get devolved, whatever. We don't mind if we have this getting devolved, whatever. Like, I'd much rather have Devilsaur Egg sitting out on the board and just creating havoc than Thing from Below. Okay. Is that worth the silence? That's actually a really good question. Or we can just double kill it here. Play Defender of Argus, buff this to 3. That's pretty good as well.
My shield for Argus.
That's going to create Northshire. It's alright.
How long can
Serenite Chain Gang Evolve? Oh, Jade Claws. Tis fine. Tis fine. So we can actually draw quite a bit here if we want to. So it looks like he is playing token.
into the breach?
Right away.
We can do this and we can heal up, which I don't hate. But we can also play Karn. I think Karn's just better.
The Earth Mother is near.
Like, it's going to force our opponent to do, unless he lucks into a second Jade, what's it called?
Oh,
Like,
Get 'em, boys.
oh my god, we're dead.
Sealing to end.
Yep, we're not going. Ooh, that's unfortunate for our opponent. But not unfortunate enough.
For honor.
Alec here. Gross. We also have no way to beat this.
Tonight, a tale of long lost words.
You are not welcome here.
Like, we're super dead, right? 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah. We are really dead.
It is finished.
I'll see you guys for game number 3. All right, guys, we're back. Did not get the early tempo we wanted that game. I think we may have lost that one on the turn where he played Thing from Below. Like, not having an answer to Thing from Below was a big problem there.
Tyrande versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory.
Illume give me strength.
All right, so we Radiant Elemental into the Talon Priest. Pretty good. Going up against Priest is always going to be not fun. Like, the more I play against Priest, the angrier I get, because it's like, it's a one of Kazakus deck that has no reason to be as consistent as it is, but I feel like every time I play against it, they just have the perfect, it's like this answer, this answer, this answer, this answer. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's very frustrating. I played so many decks in my Hearthstone history where I have just never been able to get consistency. I played aggro paladin decks where I couldn't draw 1-drops. I played zoo decks where I could never get a curve together. I played druid decks where I couldn't draw a ramp. And then you play against, aggro shaman, which is still the one I cannot believe. They only ran one drop in Tunnel Trog. And they always had turn 1 Tunnel Trog. I just don't understand that. I think we play this to bait out the Shadow Word Pain. Also, like, my opponent having Shadow Word Pain here, like, in theory, he shouldn't have Shadow Word Pain here, right? Like, he's drawn 6 cards. Okay, so he does not have it. That's the good news. He's going to play a Curious Glimmer Root. That I'm okay with. This card's still very good. Gives the deck a lot of consistency it normally doesn't have. So we just do this. But yeah, like, in theory, he doesn't have it. So, and if he doesn't have it, that's good news for us. We don't run Pain, so we couldn't have gotten it off of the 3/3. But, like, this is the way these matches should go, right? Like, there should be a little bit of give and take. Oh my Jesus Christ. Okay, so what do we want to do here? Do we want to Defender? We can Defender and then kill this. Also, Northshire, heal this, and then, like, double trade. It's probably better just to do this.
My shield for Argonios.
So my opponent didn't have a Shadow Word, but that doesn't mean, like, turn 4 Kazakus. Yay. Who saw that coming? Oh wait, literally everybody. So we are going to get some cleric value here. I think we do want to go with the draw. Oh, we also want to do that. Shield is probably actually, like, really nice here. We can build up a pretty solid...
Is someone injured?
Into the breach.
Just want to pace our opponent here. We want to play a Devilsaur Egg next turn to try to beat AoE. If our opponent has deal 5 damage, like, draw 2 cards, I'm going to be really angry. Just going to warn you guys. Deal 4 damage to all minions, summon 2 friendly minions. Okay, well. We were 1 turn too late on the Devilsaur Eggs, but we're just going to play both of them. It sets up a really nice Bone Mare. And we can just kill one of these. Seems fine. I don't think... Yeah. Yeah, the Devilsaur Egg. No one runs Cabal Shadow Priest these days. Now, he could run... If he gets Potion of Madness, he could Potion of Madness one. Okay, Raza the Chain is fine. Like, yes, obviously not the card we want to see, but that means that our Bone Mare is going to stick, which is quite nice. I guess we trade here. Yeah, there's no reason to push for face here. We have Shield and Divine Spirit. Our opponent, I don't think, has the coin, but he still has 8 cards in his hand, so he could. But coining Shadowy Branduin wouldn't make a lot of sense here anyway. If we can get buffs going on both of these, we'll be in really good shape. I also want him to Shadow Reaper Anduin as much as possible. So like if he trades in here, we can just kill the Raza right back with the Power Word Shield if we want to, or we can just play the Lich King and trade in. The problem with that, of course, being that if we do that, our opponent could easily Shadow Reaper us pretty hard, which we don't want to happen. So we do want to be aware of that.
I wonder.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not quite what we planned.
Yeah. We're not going to play the Lich King here. It's just asking for... I think we just do this. And this is kind of the situation you want to set up against Shadow Reaper Anduin, where there's just... Really? That's the one you went on? Bad Shadow Ascendant. Where he can play it, he gets a 6/6, cool. And then he would literally need to have drawn a Silence in his top 12 cards to also kill one of these. And if he can't, we can just play the Lich King. And did he draw a Silence in his top 12 cards? Oh, he drew it this turn. God, must be nice. Must be nice. And you know he has Shadow or Death, so this game is over. I guess Army of the Dead is probably worth playing here. He's already used a Dragonfire Potion. And we need our opponent. He shoot this. Okay, that's good news for us. That means he doesn't have a death. Which means it's going to take him 3 more cards out of his 7 to kill this, which means he has to burn. Cool. Not cool. Really just the opposite of cool. Alright, well, we're going to go with Army of the Damned here. I think it's really our only shot. That's fine. We lost an Inner Fire, but that's not the end of the world. Would have been nice to get the Ascendant to hit the wagon. That's not good. It's actually not terrible though, because now the wagon... No, the wagon does literally nothing. Okay. We want to hit this on the wagon for sure. So do we want to hit our opponent for 16? Probably not. Like, we can afford to do this. As long as he doesn't draw a death, he can't really touch that. And he has 1 death in his top... Oh, because he just shuffled as well. We don't run Shadow or Death. So he has 1 death in his top 23 cards. Like, we might be able to outlast him. Especially because this is going to create a minion. So if we can get Karn, that'd be pretty good. If we can draw a Bone Mare, we'll also be in pretty good shape. He's already used his AoE. And you'll notice here how, like... This is what you want. Is you just want your opponent to use AoE early. That's fine. So he used Mind Blast, which I'm sure he did not want to do. Also, he's taking damage now. Shadow Vision's not really what we're looking for. Oh, I literally have no spells left in my deck. So we have a Karn and a Bone Mare 50-50 on our wagon. Our opponent can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage. As long as he doesn't top deck, which he didn't, as long as he doesn't top deck a death. That was like the only thing we were worried about in that situation. But the fact that the meat wagon is going to bring something back, I really hope this is Karn, because if it's Bone Mare. Oh, we also had Cobalt. And our opponent misplayed that horribly.
To err is
So we won this game, but we won it. I mean, we got lucky, let's be honest. But I'll take it. Our opponent playing Archbishop Benedictus probably lost him the game. I respect it for sure, and that's what you get at rank 5, but I don't mind it. We're 2-1. I will see you guys for game number 4. Alright guys, we got 2 more games to go. We're jumping all over the stars on rank 5 today, so I'm just recording when I have the time. And we're seeing if we can finish our reign with Priest. Got really lucky that last game.
Randa versus Valera.
And we have Tempo Rogue, which appears to be everywhere right now. Oh, Galaka Crawler.
Alone give me strength.
My kingdom for a Galaka Crawler. See if we can get the other crawler, perhaps? Or my opponent will actually play a... Meat Wagon is a card I'm really excited to experiment with in Kobolds and Catacombs as well. This is a card that I've always felt has a lot of untapped potential. And I think it has a lot of good uses, so we'll see what it can do. Pirate. Play a pirate. That's a Keleseth. Keleseth Shadow Step, yeah. It's really powerful. We're just going to hold on to this crawler. There's literally no reason to play this here. If we play it, it challenges the Keleseth, but like, if he gets patches out of his deck or something, and it's at 3-3, we need to be able to kill that immediately. Case in point. I'm going to eat that patches up. It's going to be really tasty.
Job's done.
Cool. So we can go Meat Wagon next turn, although it depends how good his curve is. This is one of the things I hate about the Keleseth opening plays, is that if you just draw Keleseths, like if you just draw cards that are on curve, you're going to lose the game. Right? Like that's, like I cannot compete with that. Okay, so we're actually going to take the Meat Wagon route. I don't know if I want to attack into this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This would go down to 3, 3. These would both trade. I think it's better just to hold off. Yeah, but the reason I don't like this is because if my opponent just draws cards that he can play, which he's not doing, luckily for us. But like that, exactly like that. If he just draws cards on curve, we're never going to win the game anyway. And it's really annoying that he drew both Southsea Deckhands, one of which is buffed. Like, we're pretty dead here. Even with the crawler draw, we're still in a lot of trouble. Just play the cleric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are getting to Bone Mare first, which is important, but it depends on what this card is. He has 2 other cards in hand, but this is the card that we're... Oh my Jesus. At least he... I mean, he top decked a backstab. I suppose we can't ask for more than that. So we can kill a lot of things. Unfortunately, we can't kill Lyra here, which is a bigger deal than it sounds. We're just gonna get the egg here. We don't need to play both eggs. We could kill Lyra, but I think it actually makes more sense to do this. Because we're setting up the Bone Mare anyway. This is the turn that's going to pretty much decide the game. We know our opponent has a priest spell in hand. Mind Division. Okay, well hopefully he got the Devilsaur Egg. Because I mean Cobalt's not the end of the world. Like if we played Cobalt Scalebane here and then traded this into this, like we would just hit here, buff this, kill that. I guess Cobalt is actually pretty bad for us. I want him to play the egg. Play the egg. Egg. Egg, egg, egg. Although, there's also the downside that if he has the egg, yeah, he got the Scalebane. Okay. Didn't trade in. That's interesting. Why not? Oh, we could hold off on the Bone Mare. Because, so the way this deck is set up, Shadow Visions is always going to give you a combo piece. So if we can get an Inner Fire, we can just, let's think. We can go Shadow Visions, Inner Fire this, kill this.
I wonder.
Oh no, we can't double trade into both of these, so it's probably better to Bone Mare. So we can go here, and then double trade into this, or alternatively, we can go like this. Trade here. Bone Mare this, kill this, go face. Like I don't think we need to get damage on Lyra. If we put, like if he Bone Mares Lyra, right, we have a really advantageous board. Also, we can use Shadow Visions now to our advantage, which is pretty nice. We can like Power Word Shield or something to that effect. I also don't know, oh geez, that's bad. Let's just call that what it is. The fact that these have 6 health is an absolute disaster. Okay, so we can go heal. We're like not killing Lyra, right? So we can heal this,
You wish to live
do this,
forever.
try to find Inner Fire, which we did. Play this for free. This, face. I'm very interested to see what my opponent is doing with the Lyra spell. Stop drawing. Oh no. Does he have a Vile Spine? Oh, that's even worse. Yeah, we're just not going to be able to keep up with this nonsense. He's playing this really well. He's being really patient. Which is exactly what he should be doing.
Is someone injured?
I think healing this. I should have healed this. If I had healed this, yep. That was 100% my mistake.
Well played.
And we're also super dead. We still would have died because this would have been at 4-7. He just would have hit it with his face and killed us. Lost the board early, and we also triple Keleseth. So that's going to happen. We're 2-2. I will see you guys
It is finished.
for the next game.
You win.
All right, guys. It's game number 5. Not very happy about the way that last one went down, but who is going to beat a triple Keleseth? Nobody, because that's the answer. If our opponent didn't have if our opponent just didn't have Keleseth, we would have been fine because we could have eaten the pirates with the crawlers and then just gone off.
Watch
So once again, we're gonna hard mulligan everything here. Talon Priest without the coin isn't that great, and we have no early minions. We're really looking for the crawlers against Rogue. Cleric is not as bad as you would think. We're probably just gonna run her out immediately.
Is someone injured?
She really does a nice job of challenging fireflies and pirates, especially on turn 1. Even if our opponent coins Keleseth here, we have an answer. Okay, so we're just gonna do this.
Right away.
We can't even get value. Like, there's no way to get value out of Shadow or Radiant Elemental, but it really doesn't matter because
The Brotherhood
Edwin.
shall
Yep. Okay. Well, we could actually enter fire to kill that, or we could Divine Spirit. Divine Spirit costs 1 though, which really limits our options. Although we can trade in here, and I don't know how he kills this. Our opponent would need to have. Okay, so the Nightmare scenario is we play Divine Spirit. We trade into the 4/4. Right, so we Divine Spirit, trade into the 4/4. Go face with the Cleric. Our opponent has Sousy Captain on turn 3, uses the 2/2 patches to kill this, runs this into here, we have no board presence, and we lose. If I use the Inner Fire and trade both of these in, we're still in pretty bad shape. I think we have to do the Divine Spirit play. Could also not attack at all, but I think it's better to attack, if that makes sense.
Right away.
Maybe it doesn't, but I think it makes more sense to attack here. Literally, our opponent having the Coin Edwin, I'm not going to live in a world where he has Coin Edwin and Sousy Captain into a 2/2 patches on turn 3. Like, we're never gonna win that battle, right? And Coin Edwin is the only thing that he has here that really. Oh God, here we go.
This guy's toast.
Okay, I also didn't see that coming.
You are the Shadow's puppet.
And now we're just behind. Like, if this was on an empty board, we would be in really good shape, and now we are just actually dead. Like, this is how important tempo is in the current metagame. Like, how do we come back from this position, honestly? He has a 1-mana Edwin in hand, which he can use
So many.
to make huge anytime he wants. The fact that instead of trading in the Edwin and us having a 2/2 on an empty board, even if we had a 2/2 on an empty board and he had a way to kill it this turn, it's so much different than him being able to advance his board. Also, if he has a pirate here, like, we're actually dead. So now he can use these, right? Played Keleseth. He doesn't have the coin. Oh my God, yeah, we're like, look at how quickly this game got away from us, right? Like, there's nothing we can do now to keep up with our opponent. It's almost impossible. We can play Karn, hopefully Bone Mare Karn, and hope that he doesn't have like a Vile Spine Slayer. But the fact of the matter is, like, he's gonna like Cold Blood trade in. Oh my Jesus. So we take 6 this turn. We play Karn. We hope that Karn can hold us down for a turn. And then, like, basically we're hoping that he doesn't deal with Karn. Or if he does deal with Karn, why is he playing Zero? If he does deal with Karn, it's going to cost his entire board. Like, that's what we're hoping. So he's just going to ignore Karn, and now we're in a position where we're just taking too much damage, and our opponent can literally ignore what we're doing for the rest of the game. And that's fine. That doesn't actually do anything. But, like, that's the rough part about this, right? So let's say our opponent has, like, a small minion Vile Spine, kills this. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We go to 3. Top deck the Vile Spine Slayer. Well, there's literally nothing I could have done about that. Like, he literally top decked the Vile Spine. It's really annoying. I think we would have had a chance there had our opponent not actually done that. And we're super dead. There is nothing we can do against that. All right, well, that's the way this ends.
It is finished.
The tempo matches, that's a really good game to show because it shows you how important that early tempo is, right? If you don't hit your early tempo, you're just going to get run over. Like even one key turn where your opponent gets anything out ahead of you, it doesn't matter what it is. Like our opponent was very good. He understood that. He used his resources to make sure that we could never stick anything. Like even that last turn, if he doesn't top deck the Vilespine Slayer and he has to use a lot of his board and we get the Lich King out ahead of him, we might be able to pull that game out. But the way that it was broken down, that he just happened to get the Vilespine on turn 7 after already dominating the board for so long, we couldn't come back because he leveraged his damage. And every turn, he's playing something. Also, super unfortunate that he had Coin Edwin. That's always going to be good against our deck. So, but either way, we went 2 and 3, but I feel like 2 of our losses were very close games. The only game where we got really blown out was the Shaman game. The other 2, we won pretty handedly, and then the last game before this was a close one, and then this one, we may have been able to come back had our opponent not top decked that Vilespine. So either way, I'm Joe Scalise, StarsandPlayers.com. This is the new standard, and we're almost ready to shift to Kobolds and Catacombs. I got like another week doing a lot of card reviews, another week or 2 of this. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Let me know in the comments as always. I hope you all have a wonderful end of November, and I hope you're pumped for December because I love the holidays. I'll see you guys for that.